Hi everybody, we're out here at the belsaw again. A few things here. I was using it last night and I was getting some tape. Like I say, they did 4,000 feet with it. They did it actually at Freiburg Fair. They was up there. They sawed all 8 days with it. Put on a good show with it. But I'm looking things over here and I'll show you what's wrong with it. We've got some problems here. As you can see, these knees are way out. And that's just what I was getting for a taper. So I just loosened up this further side and it's not out quite as bad, but I can't do this one-handed. I'll put you guys on the stand there and we'll try to kind of talk you through it as we go. It's a pretty simple process. It's basically a screw, a little string there we need to adjust, a few things like that. Anyway, we'll see if we can get you folks positioned up here where you'll stay put. Then I got two hands to maneuver. So what we'll do is I already loosened these two bolts up, so we'll snug the bottom one up. That's right to the ground. Isn't that typical? And then all you need to do is bring that top one right back till it's just right there. And I'll go grab that ratchet and we'll snug that top one down. Yeah, let's see. You kind of have to do that knee adjustment or head block adjustment, whatever they want to call it. You kind of have to do that first. It's like one of your first things you have to do, because as you do it, it'll come out a little bit, and then when you set your gauge, the gauge will be off. That's right there. That's pretty close. See if that helped it just a little bit. And that's rubbing right there in the middle. We're going to leave it. And then we'll tighten right up good. Of course, these are all soft 3/8 bolts. I probably should put grade 8 in it and really smoke them up, but I never have. And I'll show you the other one. The other one is every bit as bad. This one here, I mean, it's almost got a good 1/4 inch there, so not really acceptable for a sawmill. A mill, a lot of people, they run these little bell saws down and they aren't much, but if you do everything like you're supposed to, have all this stuff adjusted, they don't do half bad. They're no faster than a bandsaw, really, because they do run slow. But boy, this one here don't want to move. Sheesh. That's kind of odd. There we go. Guess it was rusted into place. We're going to adjust it and then we'll run it down. These will travel in and out. And then when I run it down here in a little bit, we'll boy, I don't know why this side here is off so. There we go. Yeah, we still ain't quite there. Well, that ain't been sprung. Anyway, we may have to elongate the holes a little bit here to get it square on this one. I don't know why, but anyway, yeah, we can't get it. We're still a 16th out, and we're, you know, we're sitting down on the nothing underneath it. And this piece here is straight as a die across it, so I'm going to shut you guys off. I'm going to take this right off and clean out any sawdust in there, and I'll be back in a second. Yeah, we're back. Had some sawdust on one of the bolts, and now you can see we're pretty well. Had a little light on the bottom, but it's pretty good. Yeah, I'd call that close enough for an old bell saw. Now the worst part of it is, for this one here to get parallel, it's tucked all the way right back. If I come out any on the bottom one, then I can't get it, just the way they machined it. I could take this off, put it on the milling machine, or file it out a little, but we'll have to see how far that one's sticking out about a 1/16 of an inch, so we're going to have to measure off the blade and see whether or not we're cutting a pie here or not. But anyway, that's the main adjustment. I'll walk you around back here. There's really 2 more adjustments that you can do. It makes quite a difference. I don't know if you watched the video before this, or a couple videos before. I was sawing, you know, this set works would work its way right back. Well, that right there is this adjustment right here. You just snug that up, and if we didn't go too much, oh, that's better. Now it pulls hard, and that's what you want. You want that to have some pretty darn good drag. And what it is, there's a brass pushing in there that you're pushing that over. It works out pretty good. Now that I've got all that done, I'll go on the other side and I'll do some measuring. Well, actually, I'm not going to set this scale. I just changed this scale over to a fishing line, and I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. It's pretty damn stretchy. I kind of got a... Yeah, I'd say it's not going to work, because it's just... Yeah, it just loads it up and don't move the... Yeah, I guess I got to go something other than a fishing line. I thought that might work. It's always hard to find the right material to go over these little pulleys. If you use a steel cable, which is really the ideal thing, they kink on you, and they're a little stiff. They don't follow the contour, and they'll run off and pop off once in a while, and it's pain. Anyway, them are really the 2 main adjustments, and the other one is just setting your scale, that's pretty rudimentary. I mean, that little set screw back there that I just did, that's one of those things, unless you've got a manual, you'd never know about it. Yeah, so if we just take that, you know, so what you would do is you would set your scale to that right there, and of course, as you can see, we're way the heck off. But anyway, I'm going to do that after. I'm going to run this carriage back and forth without you guys watching, because it's mundane stuff. And I got to measure that knee to the blade and then this knee to the blade, and I got to make sure they're even. And once I get that done, then I'll be ready to go. Just show you this. It's written on the other side. I'm going to shut you off real quick. Well, I'm back. I'm on the other side of the saw. I don't know if you can see that right there. It says B8, S, and J. And that's what they are. You can have any of those styles, the S, the J, or the B. in their 8 gauge. That's what the 8 stands for. And this is a pretty good saw. Seems to cut good. I got a, technically, this pulley here is 24-inch, and I got a 20 down back. And I think today, before I saw, even though I'm going to lose a little tractive force, because, you know, your arm gets back as far as your torque goes, I'm going to go to a 20-inch. And that'll bring this saw up to the RPM it's supposed to be running at. I've already done the calculations. You're supposed to have 20 3/4 inches. And 20 inches is close enough. But this, the belt was working real good, but I don't have any belt dressing on anything, and that smooths a kitty's ear. I mean, that really is, it ain't shined up bare metal, but yesterday I noticed when I was writing about a, 10-inch cut or so, it was wanting to walk a little. But that belt, even though it's an old belt out of a airport luggage carrier, seems to be sawing all right. I'm gonna dress it up today with some dressing, and I'll let you know how it worked. So anyway, I hope that was a little informative on the carriage here. Sorry, my scale, I was going to adjust that in front of you, but it's obvious my idea here of the twine didn't work. I guess we learn as we go. But anyway, I'm going to shut you off, and we'll talk to you later. Well, we got that pulley finally split apart. I wanted to show you a little bit of how come we have to change this out. These halves, this is marked 3 7/8 by 1 1/11 inches. They don't put the 16th on just because they know that, 1 1/11 is 1 11/16. So anyway, this shaft, I had to take a pair of those 1 11s. You can see I got a little bit of a chatter on the finish. If you look in there, you can see it's just something I did myself. That's why I had to swap out, had to split them completely apart. Usually you just loosen them and you can get them on the shaft if you get the right size collars for the center. And kind of a little story goes behind these pulleys. This is lint from the girls and boys camps over around Naples, Casco, Sebago area from back in the 1930s and 40s. My grandparents, or my grandmother I should say, had a big laundromat up on the top of my father's barn. All ran off line shafts, all back in the, well, I guess it went out of business in the late 50s, maybe early 60s, probably late 50s, because it was gone before I was born. And anyway, I stopped there for a minute to see what that noise was, but I guess it was a well pump went on. It was sucking some air. But anyway, yeah, I'll finish putting this on time lapse. No sense for you to be sitting here bored to death. And when we get done, we'll put the belt back on, and I'm going to put some belt dressing to it. And then hopefully we'll get this thing back going. We can try to saw another log. I've got an issue with the carriage. This carriage, these knees measure exactly the same distance from the knee to the front of the carriage. But when I walk this carriage from one knee to the other, I'm getting 1/8 of an inch difference. So there's something funny going on with my track or the wheels in the carriage, but I can't get any side motion in the carriage, so I'm not really sure where the problem is. You know, we've hauled it up and down the road and stuff swings and moves. Could have been something that moved. Not really sure, but I'm going to see how it saws just the way it is. Sometimes it surprises you, you know. But we did get the head block straightened up. They were way out. It should saw better than it did. I'm not going to say it's going to saw perfect, but anyway, I'm going to put you back on the speed show there.